They persist because they want to stay where they are. They want to be out there working and doing the jobs that they do. They love the idea that they actually supply food and produce for Australians. They love the land. Often it's, a few generations down that they're there. They want to keep it. Their parents had it. They're working it. They want it for their kids. And they just want to be out there. They want to be out on the land doing what people on the land do, which is produce food. It may be that the husband has to go and work on a mine site for a while to make some big dollars to keep things going, and the wife stays home, and often she then has to be the worker at home because they can't afford to employ someone, so she's doing the lick run with the kids. And that, that's a hard road, but they do it. Some families have actually moved into town, and then the wife gets the kids to school, and then the husband stays out during the week on the properties, and then they come into town to do it that way. There's things, like I said, about our educators that come out and they can help look after the kids, so that takes the stress off, so that the husband and wife can then go and work the properties. So there's some of the creative ways that they're dealing with it. There is some that move off totally, and particularly in the drought. It's no secret that people, some have gone into receivership, and some of those families haven't wanted to leave the land, and they've had to come in. I'm working with a family at the minute that have done that. Particularly the men, it's really hard for the attention to be on them. So often when they're actually talking about the guy down the road and you're giving information of what the guy down the road could have, that it's sinking in for them and that they know that that is for them as well. So often they do that in the third person, and that's okay as long as they get the information and they know that they can source some help. But they are fabulously supportive of their neighbours, particularly in the cases too where the banks are starting to foreclose on some of the properties, how the neighbours rally round and support and help them and come in and put in man hours and offer equipment and all sorts of things. Linking in with services already going is a great way. Like we have a RAFS, which is a remote area family service play group. They go to properties in small play groups. So by us attending that and talking about what support's available, then we can then maybe have a phone consult, then maybe do a visit. We do not do any cold calling. That's not what we're about. But then other services that are going out, like our some of our child educators that go out, they too will pass on what's available in the way of support. You don't want to be telling people they're not coping. They like to get to know you. They like to know that you're available. They like that gentle, softer approach. They might see you in one of the small communities when you're at a play group. Then they might invite you to the property. Then the man of the property might be out working in the shed or see you at morning tea time and you have a bit of a chat. And that's the way that you do the communication. If you just landed on the property, it could be turned very ugly. I believe we need to get the services out, so I'm a great believer in mobile services, getting as much as we can out there so that people can, they can see a face, but then they're happy. You can do phone stuff and you can do, Skyping and a whole lot of other stuff, but I think you need to get that interaction happening face to face. You don't have to have a one-on-one. It can be at an activity where people get to know you and they'll say, that's Frontier Services. Yes, we will work with them. And I think that's one thing that Frontier Services has done really well. I think services need to work together. I think we do it really well. I believe we do that well, but there is other services that maybe don't do it so well. And that visiting services that come into Charters Towers need to connect with everybody that's here as well, so that we haven't got this disjointed someone coming and going out and not letting other services know what they're doing. Training, I think we need to have access to more training, and I think that the people in non-government should get paid better too, because I think that we're expected to do huge amounts on very low salaries, and of course it's hard to attract people, because if you're going to get a better salary by working for the health department and you need to educate your kids, well, you're going to go for that first.